And yeah, you shouldn't compare your experience to anyone else's. You know, we all have things that are gonna stress us out, that are gonna make us sad, and that's why, you know, really the world, if we're just kinder to one another and we ask, how are you doing? You see someone and they look like they're having a rough day. Oh, hey, how are you doing? Just anyone. It doesn't even have to be like someone you're close with, someone you work with. Oh, you look like you're down. I like your top. I like, you know, something like that. Just be kind, and kindness starts with yourself, taking time for yourself. So yeah, that's
you can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly, yes. And I started a YouTube channel where I do little vlogs and everything. So then we decided, well, you know, there's people in the area. We can try and help anyone. So that's what really motivated us to come here and share our story and both of our stories. And we hope that anybody will get something from it. So if anybody do you have anything else you want to talk about or?
Well, I was just gonna say our friend Al.
Oh yes.
He's such a sweet man that it's such a tragedy that's why I said if you buy the audiobook copy of not the audiobook copy, sorry, I said if you buy this is the paperback copy, it's $20, and if you get it if you get an ebook copy on say Amazon or whatever, it's $5. If you give me an email and PayPal it, I'll send it to you for $4, and I'm going to give $1 to his foundation that he started in honor of his son, who tragically lost his life to mental illness. And this is the nicest, most open man. He worked with us. I would cry on him on a bad day in the back of the Disney store, and his son had depression and
didn't tell anyone.
He didn't tell anyone, or they did not realize it was that bad, and he had an accident that unfortunately was ruled as he did it on purpose, and they really just don't know.
If he was drinking a lot, and
but he started this foundation, and he just said to us, you can talk to me. You know how I would have listened if he would have just talked to me. But sometimes it's easier to talk to strangers.
Yeah.
You don't want to put a burden on the people you love. You don't want them to worry about you constantly. And so that's, maybe it's easier for somebody here to send us an email and say,
share,
I'm having a really bad day. Because we don't want to make the people we care about worry about us. So.
Exactly, yeah. And just anyone. And through the foundation, it's called the Waffles Foundation because his son had the nickname Waffles. They do a music donation. So if I have an instrument that I'm not using, I can send it to them and they'll either pay for the shipping or give me a tax credit, and they'll give it to someone who needs, because Matt was a guitarist and he loved to teach kids music. So he's told us, you guys, I know mental health is so important to you. If you want to reach out and speak about it. So we're like, they live in Florida, so we're like the East Coast, hype guys of the northern hype guys.
Yeah, because the arts are so expressive, they tend to help.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't have access, so that's a little bit about that. And then if anybody has anything they want to ask or share of yourselves, you're definitely welcome to do that.
Everyone's here.
Yeah, this is definitely a safe place. So I'm not a licensed therapist, but I'm a good listener. I can listen to anything anybody has to say. Or if you want to, like you said, like Lisa said, email. We're gonna get the emails, and if everybody's okay with it, we'll email everybody and we can tell you some tips and everything.
Send you some links.
Yeah.
Even if it's you can tell us off. We don't care.
Yeah. You wasted my time.
So I think that sort of one of the harder aspects I think around mental health is really like the start of the journey.
Of course.
I mean, I definitely know I could benefit from therapy in a lot of ways, but like finding a therapist and like putting my foot out, dipping my toe in sort of like the search for one feels really overwhelming to me, whether it's like, oh God, I'm gonna talk with 20 people that I don't like or that I don't connect with, and then I've wasted my time or whatever. So like, I'm just curious, as people that are, thank you so much for coming in, as people that are so open about your journey with mental health, like what was your experience getting started to find like people that you really connected with, that you really felt helped you, you know, online, in person, like whatever. I just would be curious.
I think more the self, and how we both started was I started with the whole like self-help learning tools online and things. I don't personally talk to a therapist. Like I said, I just steal her tools. But I know that it is work.
Oh yeah.
And you know, there's that thing of, well, you can do it for free with a priest or a rabbi or you know, reverend, and they'll listen, and you get it for free, and they're listening to that, but you don't really know if it's confidential and things like that, and you have to find the time in your day. And
Yeah.
I think you just looked on the insurance and lucked out.
Yeah, so
with reviews.
it did feel overwhelming, but I went to my insurance and I called about the mental health, and I felt like overwhelmed because I felt like I had to prove that I had depression. Like they ask you all these questions, so you know, it could be uncomfortable, it could be difficult, but it's definitely worth it. So I answered all these questions like, have I ever self-harmed? Have I thought of self-harming? All that. And I think I realized afterwards that's like to help me, because it's gonna help them figure out who would be best for me. So they gave me the names of a few people, and I like researched them, and I found one that I liked. Her name is Stacy Rosenberg. She's a licensed psychologist and life coach, and her approach has been so great for me. But I do know there are other people who have, you know, that person was cold, I didn't like that person, and so I know it's really difficult, but it really is worth it. You have to find someone you can talk to. If it's a friend, if it's an online community, if it's like maybe you crochet, maybe find people in your neighborhood that crochet too. You can talk and share that activity, and then just like talk to each other too, because it can be difficult, but it's so worth it.
And I think like reviews always help, but it's not ideal. You know, you can't always find them because between insurance and time restrictions and things. But yeah, and it's the worst thing in the world to do trial and error with, but you kind of
that's
have to.
unfortunately,
It's like any other health. If you broke something and you went to an orthopedist and you didn't like what they had to say, you get a second opinion. When she started with, it also kind of helps to have somebody kicking your ass into doing it.
Yeah, pushing you, motivating you, that person you could lean on.
Like, you're doing the thing that she told you to not do kind of conversations. But when Laura started with the psychiatrist, there has to be a quick kind of conversation where, to make sure everything's on the up and up, even though there's a longer conversation with the therapist. So the psychiatrist, at first, she said, I don't really know if I